There lived a young woman named Maya. Maya was known throughout the village for her gentle spirit and kind heart. She had a peaceful aura that drew people towards her, seeking solace and advice. But little did anyone know, Maya herself had been struggling with a constant companion, anxiety. Maya's anxiety was like a shadow, always lurking, ready to pounce on her at the slightest provocation. It would grip her heart in its icy fingers, leaving her breathless and trembling. She knew that if she didn't find a way to deal with this relentless anxiety, it would consume her entirely. One bright morning, as the sun cast its golden rays upon the village, Maya decided that she couldn't bear the weight of her anxiety any longer. She decided to seek the wisdom of the village elder, a wise Buddhist monk named Bhante. Bhante lived in a humble monastery at the edge of the village, surrounded by serene gardens and tranquil ponds. Maya approached the monastery with a heavy heart, hoping that Bhante could offer her guidance on how to overcome her anxiety. As she entered the monastery, Bhante greeted her with a warm smile. He could sense the turmoil within her and invited her to sit in the peaceful garden. Maya began to share her struggles with anxiety, tears glistening in her eyes. Bhante listened attentively, his kind eyes never leaving Maya's face. When she had finished pouring out her heart, Bhante spoke softly, "Maya, I understand your pain, and I'm here to help. Anxiety is like a storm that rages within us, but there are ways to find calm in the midst of it. Let me share with you the teachings of the Buddha, which can guide you in overcoming your anxiety." And so, Bhante began to tell Maya a story that would reveal to her 5 profound ways to deal with anxiety. **1. The lotus in the mud. Understanding the nature of the mind. Bhante began his teachings with a story of a lotus flower that grew in the muddiest of waters. "Maya," he said, "just as the lotus rises above the mud, our minds can rise above the chaos of anxiety. The key is to understand the nature of the mind." He continued, "Our minds are like clear water, but when stirred by the winds of desire, fear, and attachment, they become murky, just like the mud. Anxiety takes root in these murky waters, and we become trapped in a cycle of worry and fear." Maya nodded in understanding, her eyes focused on Bhante's every word. To overcome anxiety, Bhante said, "We must first recognize that it is a natural part of the human experience. It is the result of our mind's reaction to the challenges and uncertainties of life. But just as the lotus remains unstained by the mud it grows in, our true nature, our inner peace, can remain untouched by anxiety." Maya felt a glimmer of hope as Bhante's words began to sink in. She realized that her anxiety was not something to be ashamed of, but rather a part of her human experience. **2. The elephant and the rope. Breaking free from limiting beliefs. Bhante's second teaching came in the form of another story. "Maya," he said, "imagine a young elephant tied to a small rope. When the elephant was a baby, the rope was strong enough to hold it. But as it grew, the rope remained the same." Maya visualized the scene as Bhante continued. The adult elephant, unaware of its own strength, believes it cannot break free from the rope. In reality, it could easily do so, but its belief in the rope's strength keeps it bound. Bhante paused and looked at Maya. "Anxiety often arises from limiting beliefs," he explained. "We convince ourselves that we are powerless in the face of our fears and worries. Just like the elephant, we forget our inherent strength and resilience." Maya's eyes widened as she recognized the truth in Bhante's words. She had allowed her anxiety to convince her that she was powerless, forgetting her inner strength. To overcome anxiety, Bhante continued, we must challenge these limiting beliefs. We must recognize that we have the power to break free from the ropes that bind us. Our minds are capable of great strength and transformation. Maya made a silent vow to herself to challenge her own limiting beliefs and rediscover her inner strength. **3. The The River of Thoughts, Learning to Let Go ****. Pound's next teaching focused on the ceaseless stream of thoughts that often fueled anxiety. He shared a story of a traveler who came upon a wide and turbulent river. Maya, Bhante said, imagine that the river represents the thoughts that flow through our minds. Just as the river cannot be stopped, our thoughts are constant and uncontrollable. However, the traveler did not attempt to stop the river. Instead, he found a way to cross it safely. Maya leaned in, eager to learn how the traveler had crossed the turbulent river of thoughts. The traveler, Bhante explained, built a sturdy raft to navigate the river. Similarly, to deal with anxiety, we need to build a raft of mindfulness. This raft allows us to observe our thoughts without getting swept away by them. He continued, when anxiety arises, it is like a strong current in the river. Instead of resisting it, we acknowledge it, observe it, and let it pass. We do not cling to it or allow it to define us. Maya realized that she had been trying to stop the river of her anxious thoughts, which only made it more overwhelming. She decided to practice mindfulness and build her own raft to navigate the turbulent waters of her mind. ***4. The Empty Cup, Cultivating Inner Peace ****. Pound's fourth teaching was a story about a wise teacher and a curious student. The student approached the teacher seeking wisdom and guidance. Maya, Bhante said, the teacher began pouring tea into a cup that was already full. The tea overflowed, spilling onto the table and the floor. The student exclaimed, "Stop, the cup is full." Bhante smiled and continued. The teacher replied, "Just like this cup, your mind is full of preconceived notions, judgments, and attachments. To find peace and overcome anxiety, you must empty your mind of these burdens." Maya nodded, understanding that her anxieties were often fueled by attachments and judgments. She had been holding on to her worries and fears, and it was time to let go. To deal with anxiety, Bhante advised, we must cultivate a mind that is open and free, like an empty cup. When we let go of our attachments and judgments, we create space for peace and tranquility to enter our lives. Maya realized that she needed to release her grip on the worries and judgments that had filled her mind for so long. She was ready to embrace the freedom of an empty cup. ***5. The Compassionate Heart, Embracing Love and Kindness ****. Pound's final teaching centered on the power of love and kindness. He shared a story of a wounded bird that was cared for by a compassionate child. Maya, Bhante said, imagine the bird as your own heart, wounded by anxiety and fear. The child represents the compassion and kindness that we can offer ourselves. He continued, when we are anxious, we often criticize ourselves, adding to our suffering. But just as the child gently cared for the injured bird, we must treat our own hearts with love and kindness. Maya felt a deep sense of warmth and understanding as Bhante's words washed over her. She had been her harshest critic, never showing herself the same compassion she offered to others. To deal with anxiety, Bhante emphasized, we must cultivate a compassionate heart. When we treat ourselves with love and kindness, we create a healing environment within us. This love becomes a source of strength and resilience. Maya realized that self-compassion was the missing piece in her journey to overcome anxiety. She vowed to be as kind and loving to herself as she was to others. As Bhante concluded his teachings, Maya felt a profound sense of gratitude. She now had 5 powerful tools to help her deal with anxiety: understanding the nature of the mind, challenging limiting beliefs, practicing mindfulness, cultivating an empty cup, and embracing love and kindness. Over the following months, Maya diligently put these teachings into practice. She learned to observe her anxious thoughts without judgment, to challenge the beliefs that held her back, and to treat herself with love and kindness. Slowly but surely, her anxiety began to lose its grip on her. The village noticed a transformation in Maya. Her once constant companion, anxiety, was now a fleeting visitor. She radiated a sense of calm and inner peace that inspired others to seek her guidance. One day, a villager approached Maya, tears in their eyes. "Maya," they said, "I've been struggling with anxiety for so long. Can you help me?" Maya smiled, her heart filled with compassion. She knew that she could pass on the wisdom she had learned from Bunt to help others find their own path to peace. And so, the teachings of Bunt continued to ripple through the village, touching the hearts of many. Maya, once burdened by anxiety, had become a beacon of hope and healing, a living testament to the power of the Buddhist teachings she had embraced. In the end, Maya discovered that the journey to overcome anxiety was not about eradicating it completely, but about learning to coexist with it, to transform it into a force for growth and self-discovery. And as she continued to walk this path, she found that the lotus in her heart had truly risen above the mud, shining with the radiant light of inner peace. The village, once touched by the darkness of anxiety, was now bathed in the light of wisdom and compassion, all thanks to the courage and determination of one young woman named Maya. And so, the story of Maya's journey served as a guiding light for all who sought to deal with anxiety, showing them the way towards a life of peace and serenity.